Back, everybody. It's Laban again, and I don't see the money gun. I'm a little disappointed, Laban, but that's
Money,
okay.
money. Where's my money? Money gun.
So how many? I mean, we're gonna be dropping value here. We got to have money flying through the air. But how many of you watching today know that if you're not getting the result that you wish to receive, maybe you need to do something a little different, right, Laban? Does that make sense? If you're not getting the result you wish to achieve, maybe it's time you do something a little different. Doesn't mean you need to give up on your purpose, on your dream, on your vision. Just sometimes you need to take a different approach to bringing that to fruition, right? So I'll share a real quick story, Laban, then let's dive in real quick. But I remember probably about 17 months ago, going through this, feeling like I'm running on the hamster wheel, right? Just running and running and running on the treadmill even, and almost like I can see the exit sign in front of me. The exit sign is like where my vision and dream is. It's right within sights, but I feel like I'm just working harder and harder and harder and harder to try to get there, and I'm getting nowhere. How many of you have found yourself, unfortunately, I've done this, waking up on January of the next year and realizing you're not anywhere different than you were the year before in your business and maybe even in your life. And that's why we're here to implore upon you, if you are feeling like this, right, Laban? If you're feeling constrained, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling like you can't just quite break through, then we would love to introduce you to a different kind of strategy tomorrow at Infinite Impact Live, one that's proven, not just that we've used, my clients have used it, and there's other people out there using it to create big cash infusion days for their business, even more money than Laban can produce with that money gun. So, so Laban, I got to ask you.
My wife's going to divorce me with all the paper flying on the floor.
I got to ask you real quick, Laban, because you do a lot of courage coaching in some circles. Many of us call you the world's famous or the world's best courage coach. What do you feel like prevents clients of yours from sort of stepping into something new, something that even though they realize it could be powerful and helpful, they just find themselves held back from taking that first step?
If you'd asked me this question a year ago, I would have answered completely differently, because I would have just answered with my own experience, which would have been along the lines of limiting beliefs. But I don't think it's that. I think that's a part of it, but I think it's knowledge. It's an overwhelm that takes place when people don't have the insights and the knowledge, and it becomes all too hard, so they just delay it, or worst case, don't do it at all. And it takes me back to a time where you and I got together to create a mastermind that we built to a 6-figure business in 6 months last year, off the back of your encouragement to run a virtual event, the very event that you're putting on tomorrow that I'm helping you with. And that first event, which was like, in comparison to what you're like now and the value you can add now, was like 1/10 of 1% in comparison. But it was enough for one of the people that attended that event, and most of them were friends. One of them joined and then signed on for a 5-figure mastermind, which for her, given the fact that she was in New Zealand, was a big chunk of money. And like the last of her money, in fact. And I think there's a lesson in there for all of us, because her seeing what we were able to transmute in that 4-hour masterclass was enough for her to dispel enough of her own limiting beliefs. And this is someone who's, publicly struggled with limiting beliefs all her life. And I think that's a really, really powerful lesson, because what then transpired from her saying yes probably gave us amazing momentum to follow through with it. Otherwise, we may not have even put it together. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Ooh, and I'd like to jump on that too. it's really important for those of you watching that, sometimes you have to release what you have to receive what is out there waiting on you, right? You have to release what you have to receive what is out there waiting for you. And in this instance, this person that you mentioned took this leap of faith, released a nice, investment to join. Later, we actually shared the story recently in one of these lives, went on to run her own event, and now is on track to enrolling 10 clients into her program. None of that would have ever transpired if two things wouldn't have happened. One, she wouldn't have had the courage to release what she had to receive something greater that was waiting for her, but also she took action. She took inspired action. She took uncomfortable action, but it was immediate action. So for those of you watching today, this is a really big lesson. If you would like to move to the next level in your business, the next phase of your life, you must release what you already have often, right? You must cut off a part of you, something that's not serving you now, and you must do it without sitting around contemplating for the next 45 days back and forth. Should I not? Should I not? You and I both know, Laban, and you and I, the listeners, know that the most successful people make quick decisions, right? Wealth is attracted to speed. Fast decisions produce fast results, produce more revenue, produce growth. And often it does involve cutting off, right? Like you think about the fruit trees. If you don't prune the fruit trees, you will not receive more fruit. The more you prune them, the more abundant they become. So what I'd ask everybody watching this is like, what are you waiting for? Because in less than half a day, in just a few hours, you can learn a system that will create cash infusion days that's been proven to do this over and over and over, not just for myself, not just for those that have worked with me, but for others as well. And sure, you can go out and say, I'm going to have my own virtual event, right, Laban? Virtual events are just things. You can do them. But do you really want to just go out and try something without having a guide, a framework that has been proven to be successful in amazing ways, right? For myself, my own business grew by 400% learning this basic framework. And that's why I impart it to others, right? I'm not here to try to coach people on things that I don't know anything about, only what I have done and then experienced to bring wisdom and the nuances to make this successful. So I have to ask everybody, if you're finding yourself frustrated, if you're finding yourself stuck, if you're finding yourself, not able to get over the 10K mark per month, 30K mark per month, maybe you're going up the hill, rolling back down the hill, going up again. I've been there. I remember how fun that is. And I'm being sarcastic. It's not fun at all. If you'd like to start at the top and just sort of nudge that boulder a little bit with your elbow and then watch it, have fun as you watch it fly down that mountain, as you get momentum in your business and your life to create more freedom, then now is the time, because the event is tomorrow. It's infiniteimpactlive.com, but we go live tomorrow and we've got a group of folks that are coming in. We're already going to, and I think your lovely wife said something about 75% capacity, which I had no idea. So we're filling up fast, it sounds like, but you have the opportunity now to come in, not at a huge investment, just a little bit of your time, right? And discover something new that will give you massive momentum, right? Laban, it's going to take you to the next level in your life and your business. And we've seen this time and time again.
One thing I wanted to add as well, and I'll be careful not to give any of the personal information away, but I know, and you probably don't know this, that people that have attended events of yours in the past that weren't in a position to spend more time with you or chose not to at that time did take the inspiration from what you taught in the event, in the free event, or the VIP part, and tried to run their own event two separate people and had no success, because like Evan said, anyone can run a virtual event, but unless you have the messaging down, unless you have the structure, unless you have the system to help break down yourself, your own limiting beliefs and your own blocks in your own mind, and not just those, but then be educated with ideas and techniques that you never even knew existed, then you're flying blind. And I love this whole concept of compressing time. Like, what is the cost? What is the opportunity cost of taking another year to finally figure it out? In the same way that it took me 2 years to start reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets book, which had I read it 2 years prior, I would have saved myself a huge amount of heartache. And that was just one small example with a $10 book. So that's just what I wanted to highlight as well.
And I absolutely love that. I mean, how many of you know that sometimes you've missed the opportunity? And I will say this, like, right, opportunities don't just come along once. Opportunities don't just come along once, but the real problem is if you get into the habit of not taking an opportunity, then you end up continuing to miss the opportunities. And this is a really good opportunity to come in, see if this, Cash Infusion days, I want to just let everybody know that, how would it feel? Great. It would feel amazing, right, Laban, if you had a $1 million day in your business. It would feel amazing if you had a 6-figure day. But for many of you, if you just traded a couple hours of your time and learned the exact system in the blueprint, went out and tried this, like myself, the first time I did one, 2 weeks later, I just go out and try it and made it. It was just a 5-figure day, but gosh, that was fun, right? It was fun. I created a lot of change. I transformed a lot of lives. People were giving me a lot of feedback. How would that feel for you, knowing that you could just get people in a Zoom room and you don't have to do sales calls? You don't have to have a big list. You don't have to have Facebook ads running. You just get people to a Zoom room, you change lives, and then they want to enroll in your program, and you walk away making, 25, 35, 45,000 in that one day. To me, that's still a big win. And it is so much, it's so much easier. It flows better with your business. And for many of you out there, I know who you are. I know many of you who watch this are heart-centered, serve first, contribution focused. You often come to me and you say, Evans, I just want to help everyone, but it's making me broke, right? Mm-hmm. Here's your opportunity. You get everybody in the room, you can help all of them, and you will shift beliefs and change their lives. And some of them will pay you a nice amount, which, will help you create that offer through our abundant offer framework. We'll give you the frameworks, the audience alchemy method to shift beliefs, and we'll do it all in this event tomorrow, Infinite Impact Live. And I would just share this last thing is that, this is something, I believe it's from Richie Norton when I heard him mention it. And Laban, I know we keep talking about this, but I want to gift you this book, each of you, because I know it'll change your life. It'll create more freedom. It'll allow you to focus on final cause, right? It's like, if you want more time for yourself, for your family, if that's what your goal is, to spend more time with them instead of constantly working 70-hour weeks in your business, this book is going to give you the blueprint to help build from that place to create more freedom and to create a more fulfilling life. And that's why we want to give it to you. But one thing that he says, and I'm not sure if it's in the book or I heard him say it somewhere else, future regret is today's imperative. Future regret is today's imperative. You have to ask yourself, if things aren't going the way you want them to go, if you're not making the type of money that you need to make to support your business, your purpose, your family, if you're struggling to get over a certain revenue mark, or you're struggling to take back your time and you're working too much, you're stressed, you're unsatisfied, you're unfulfilled, if you're going through any of that, then the last thing you want to do is to wake up the day after tomorrow full of regret that you didn't take this simple invitation for an opportunity that we have for you tomorrow to just join us for a few hours, have some fun, engage. I'll coach you in that time. So you'll walk away with some free coaching as well. But it will be a powerful opportunity. And I don't want you to wake up missing another opportunity, because I've been there and I know exactly how it feels.
I want to blow my own trumpet for a second, Evans, because it ties in with what you're saying with regards to the time commitment tomorrow. And yesterday I got interviewed on a really big podcast with a guy, Anthony Trucks, who's got a podcast called Shift. And I was looking through the previous guests, and I was humbled by the names he had on there. We got to the end of our hour together, Evans, and he said to me, Laban, he goes, wow. He goes, the time nearly got away from me. He goes, you know what? I've done 400 interviews, and you're the third person that I've ever completely lost track of the time with. And I was like, oh, thanks, Anthony. I said, do you mind me asking who the other two were? Now, I don't remember the other guy's name, but the other person was Lisa Bellew from Impact Theory, Tom Bellew's wife.
Absolutely.
And the reason why that happened, in my own opinion, was through the power of storytelling. And I think the time tomorrow will go together go like that. And it's not an arduous, boring process by any stretch. Evans is running it, but I'm facilitating the chat. It'll be high energy the entire time. Just get there, get the VIP for the extra stuff as well, so you can get the copy of the book, infiniteimpactlive.com. It will be a lot of fun, and the fun part is a beautiful byproduct of the value you'll get.
Yeah,
that's my commitment from this end.
Absolutely. And I want to leave everybody with one last thing. This is from one of my friends, mentors, coaches. Eileen Wilder shares this quite often, because it's around something that many of you, myself in the past, struggled with mightily, and maybe you are too. And that's procrastination. Right? Procrastination. Procrastination is the number one killer of your passion, your purpose, your prosperity. So don't procrastinate. Now's the time. Grab your spot. Let's shift something in you. Let's shift your business. Let's shift your life. Come align with the energy that the room will create around you. It will be a positive experience. There's no pitch. There's no offer stack. There's no big sales pitch in it. It's fun. Come ready to take away the value, to shift your life, to walk away with a system. We'll actually start building their blueprint in this too, Laban. We're not going to just come in here and throw a bunch of fluff at you. We're actually going to start building the blueprint so you can create your own cash infusion day and step into these uncertain times that we have ahead of us. Many are talking about recession. I don't know. I don't really follow the news anymore. What I do is I create my own economy. Let's teach you how to create your own economy, create cash infusion days, change your life, change the lives you're meant to serve. But now is the time to do it. Do it now. Grab a spot, because tomorrow the people that are in that room are going to have a life-changing experience. And that includes myself and Laban as well. So I hope to see you all there. Do it now. Grab your spot, infiniteimpactlive.com. Come to the VIP, spend some extra time with us. Let me send you this book from Richie Norton for free. And I just look forward to seeing you there and meeting some of you. So appreciate you, and appreciate you, Laban, for coming in and emceeing tomorrow. This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for Infinite Impact Live tomorrow. I was actually, okay, I know I said this was it, but I'm just going to share one more thing. Because you know me, Laban, I always get excited. Before I did a phone call earlier with some new connection that I was talking to, guess what? I practice what I preach, right? Someone who has a big audience who I'm looking to get to know, to add value to leverage, to help grow my audience, what we teach in Infinite Impact Live. But before I got on that call, Laban, I actually came to the realization. I was like, I can't wait for tomorrow. It's like one of my most favorite things to do now is to host these events and to come. And I will guarantee you, the first thing in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll say, how can I serve at the highest level today? And that will be my only goal for tomorrow, for us to have a fun, energetic time, but you can't experience it if you're not there. So please come to Infinite Impact Live tomorrow. Come to the infiniteimpactlive.com, grab your seat, and we'll see you there. And Laban will probably bring his money gun.
Not probably. I will.
And we're going to give you your own way to create your own money gun. So that's our promise to you. All right, everybody, thank you for putting up with us again, but we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thank you, Laban, again for joining us.